Hey, you are most welcome here, and today I'm going to take you through my desktop. I'm going to take you all my applications that I actually have here on the desktop, and I have more than this and some are not listed here, but I chose to organize my desktop in this way, and I'm going to take you through each icon as I explain what exactly it does. Thank you so much, and if you're new here, please subscribe. So my name is Ronnie Atuhaire, and if you're new here, please subscribe, and let's get started. So as you can see, top left, I will start from top left. We have a recycle bin. Recycle bin, basically it's a bin where I put automatically when I delete stuff, they come here to it's a default Windows system application. And I have a folder here called GitHub. This one is where I create I put all code, and I want to really push to GitHub as soon as I can. Usually it is blog related, or for my blog, for my videos, or for other guest blogs that I do, and also some other scripts that I do write and I want to publish them straight away. I usually put them here. Microsoft Edge, this is basically a cutting browser that actually Microsoft introduced something back with, I think, Windows 10, and it's a default Windows browser. I think it replaced Internet Explorer 11, and it's actually one of the most recommended now by Windows to have that rather than using Internet Explorer. So I have another application here called PDFmate. Basically this one helps me to merge. As you can see, the name says merger. It helps me merge PDF files. I work with PDF files sometimes, or more often. I have a CryptoTab browser. This is a browser that is actually built with mining in there, so you can do some crypto mining and earn actually some real bitcoins with this browser, though I have rarely used it. I have VS Code, popular ID for developers and programmers. VLC Media, this is my default player. Slack is basically a new way to communicate with people, a new way to collaborate with your team, with all features actually integrated in this platform. So it has charts, it has videos, it has collaboration, workflows, and all those other things built within Slack itself. So I love Slack specifically for educational purposes. I have a projects folder directory. This directory I usually put in things that I'm currently working on, and under here I have projects that I'm trying to push, I'm trying to develop on my own. Then I have a Telegram application. I love Telegram because it's super fast in all applications I use for social messaging. I prefer Telegram. Why? Because it's open source, and it's not really 100% open source. I prefer because its notifications are actually on real time, and it's not super slow compared to other applications. Brave browser, I love Brave because it's also kind of like crypto related. I love crypto, as you know, and it has something called Brave Rewards, and actually has wallets, it has everything actually integrated within the system. So Brave is one that you should look out. It doesn't have ads, and yeah, I would prefer Brave. If you're into crypto or if you're a developer, you should actually try Brave. EasyBCD it's basically a multi-tool bootloader for Windows. So this one can help me change and configure bootload options and have different environments running on Windows. So this is what will make it possible. So to do this, very technical, you should be knowing what to do. Shift is another tool that you can use to have all your workflows in one place. For example, the hassle of changing from one email to another. For example, if you have an Outlook email, Gmail, and some other email, you could configure all these apps and accounts in one application, and that is Shift. You just have to switch within just a click, rather than keeping to switch from one account, from one website to another, or from one application to another application. So Shift is a really good tool if you have if you want to do or have such kind of hassle minimized. AOB is basically where I dump some other related information about what I'm working on, things that I feel like maybe temporarily I'm going to delete, images, some other things that are not so much important but they are kind of important. Adobe Creative Cloud, this is actually a place for the creatives. If you want to have application systems, services in photography, video editing, web design, UI, prototyping, and all those Adobe Suite services, you could actually use this Creative Cloud to get all those services. Freecam is what I'm currently using to record this video. Shout out to Freecam, it's free and open source. I love free and open source products. As you can see, or as you will see, you'll notice that all my applications are majorly open source. Python, this folder here is one of the most important folders because I love Python more than any other browser. As you can see, it says it's actually 655 MBs, more than any other size, more than the sizes of these other directories, code directories. If you look, the next one is Taboo VPN. I love this one because it's easy to run on the go, and you're ready to have a VPN installed or a server connected within a few seconds. Justinmind is another tool that you could use to do some wireframing, prototypes for web apps and mobile applications. So you easily do UI, UX, prototypes, wireframes with this application. It's also free. WPS is also freemium, something like that, and it actually has free products that you could use. This is basically the PDF part of the WPS editor. Office, it's an alternative to Microsoft's suite. And then we have Git Bash. Git Bash is basically an emulator for Windows. It basically helps you to interact with the Git line, with Git, the command line. So it helps you have a GUI experience of the Git line, or the Git commands, and you have a command line experience also. Genymotion, this is basically a shelf to help me interact with the virtual devices. I've rarely used this. And this Git Bash, I usually push directly from my terminal. I don't need to come here. I installed this when I was actually trying to learn Git, and up to now I think it's still in here. Genymotion for interacting with virtual devices, basically a shell. And I will talk about the real application here, what it does. WPS Office, I already talked about the Office. It's an alternative. It has the reason why I love WPS Office, because you have all this in one window. You have you can run PDF, you can run a document, a Word document, and Excel, and all in one window. You just have to keep switching tabs. It's like a browser kind of an editor Office, and I love it because of that. Unlike Microsoft, you have to launch separate PowerPoints itself on a separate window, but this one has everything built in there, so you don't have to hustle. That's why it's even free. It has a freemium part of it. Then there are some products that you can actually upgrade. Then PDFmate, I use this to convert PDFs into texts, Word, document, HTML, and all those sorts of other things that come bundled with this converter. PyScripter, I love PyScripter because it's also open source. It's another Python IDE that you could try to use. I like its user interface. It's nice, it looks nice, and that's the reason why I think I have it. I don't usually use it. Google Chrome, this is my default browser. OBS, this is actually Studio. Also, it's also free. It's also an open source studio for video editing, and it's really good. You can actually stream even to Twitch, to YouTube, but I don't usually do streams, but it's good. It has all those pre-embedded, and IPFS. Basically, this is an interplanetary file system. So this helps you to be part of the peer-to-peer network mode. It's basically a hypermedia protocol client or node that you also get to be part of the distribution. So having this application here guarantees you to be a node on the on this next decentralized web. So basically this is just peer-to-peer. It's not real decentralized, as you would say, but it allows you to see what is actually happening in the Web3 space, and how you can actually have peer-to-peer files being shared all around. And this is basically a GUI and JavaScript. I also do some JavaScript. As you can see, the size is little because I rarely do JavaScript. They have projects in JavaScript, so this is the directory for it. Excel repair kit. I usually use this to repair Excel files that have actually damaged. There are some files I was trying to do work on something back and they are all damaged, and that's why I think I still have this here. HP support assistant. This has it's a GUI, and it actually has a lot of support tools, emails, and seeing what is happening with your system, what updates do you need. As you can see here, this is its icon. It is telling me that something that is needed, some action I have to do, either maybe restart or check out new updates. So for some application or system applications, because this is an HP laptop, I downloaded this, so it doesn't come with an application or with a laptop. Atom, I love Atom because it's lightweight. So if I want to create a small application or a script straight away, I usually launch this than PyCharm or any. So YouTube, I do YouTube content. So probably watching here, you can see it has 3.7 GB. So I keep reducing the size of this so it doesn't accumulate so fast beyond what I can manage. Pluralsight. This is an offline player for Pluralsight videos, for the education content there. So if I wanted to, I was in a class sometime back, I think it was GAD scholarship, and I wanted to access those things even when I'm home, when I don't even have internet. So this helped me so much download such videos. Microsoft Teams, a collaboration tool by Microsoft. If you want to have a hybrid kind of space in your working environment, let's go on this stream. I have Spider-Man here, as you've noticed. I love this because it's cool. I find it dope, and it's kind of like it's actually trying to dunk something like that. Loom. Loom is a screen editor, a screen recorder, something like that. I'm trying to explore it recently. I've not used it so much. I've created like 3 or 4 looms, and I'm trying to explore how I can actually use this or leverage this in my content creation and video editing, screen recording, and sharing my screen recordings. So I have Nmap, basically Zenmap. This is Zenmap, and it's a GUI for Nmap, the tool pen testers use for network security analysis and all those things. And this is basically a GUI. So this is Zenmap. OpenShot, I love OpenShot because after this, or actually I've used this to edit this video, and by the time you're watching this, I've know that I'm using this as my main video editor. This is my personal document. Usually I put it here because I want to access it so often. MinTool, this is basically recovery tool software for Windows. If you want to recover deleted stuff, inaccessible stuff, or you've lost some information and you want to recover some from maybe a flash disk, even the system itself. This comes in handy. This does the same thing. This internal research. So I have just two alternatives. MetaTrader is a free tool for forex traders. I was doing some forex sometime back and I liked it because you can do some strategy analysis, technical analysis with the MetaTrader platform, and I like it because it has a lot of options that you could try out when you're doing some forex and market analysis. MongoDB Campus helps you manage Mongo instances. It's a GUI to help you manage your Mongo instances. MongoDB is basically a database for developers to use in the back end as a service. This is a password manager from Kaspersky. I actually have a whole suite of Kaspersky installed, and this is one of it. Others are not here because I don't want to populate my desktop with clutter, but I have Kaspersky VPN, I have Kaspersky antivirus, and something like that. That's what I use for my security. It helps me alert the vulnerabilities. This is actually my CV. MetaEditor 5. MetaEditor 5 is a multifunctional editor that comes alongside, integrated with MetaTrader for analysis and something like that. Writing MQL5, those scripts, those market things. And I didn't use it much. Actually, I was using this more often, and I've since used the MetaTrader application. Audacity is something I'm exploring, and it's a multi-audio tracker editor, and it helps you to edit your audio to some good quality. It is free, and I like the fact it is free, and I think it is open source. Yeah, it should be open source. CodeBlocks, this is a C, programming C editor or IDE, and it can help you run C and C++ code, I think. Adobe Media Encoder. I also do some encoding and decoding of videos, graphics, and all those things. Genymotion, this is actually helping me to do some emulation and virtual machine learning. For example, Android, doing an Android emulator. TikTok, I've taken some time without using this application. The time when I actually launched this application and I spent 6 hours on my phone, that's when I actually was like, I think I should give this application less time. So I rarely open this. Actually, I don't know the last time I opened this. So it's basically a progressive web application. PyCharm, some of these are progressive web apps. PyCharm, it used to be my favorite, and I don't know why I stopped using it, but it is very good for Python related only coding projects, and it can actually easily help you in development and move faster if you have Python or Django or Python on a specific project. Postman is just managing and using, building, managing, using APIs. Sketch, this is old fashioned, I think. It has been there for some time. It's no longer, I think, supported, but it is still working. I use it to annotate screens, snippets, snips, also some I record. I also do some annotations with images, something like this. So I usually prefer Sketch and snipping tool, the default for Windows. Bandicam is a screen recorder. I've spent long without using this also. I fell in love with FreeCam, I think. PACE, I have PACE 2017 because of the specs and the limitation of this system that I'm running here. I prefer running PACE 2017 because it is stable and it is flexible. Adobe After Effects, I used there's a time when I used to spend most of the time doing work here. That's when I was designing NFTs. I was contracted to do some NFTs, and I would design NFTs for some company, and I used Adobe After Effects a lot, and Adobe Media Encoder to encode them. Firefox, I usually use this, but I have this as an alternative if I want to check out something, because I'm a developer. I want to check how does this application run, maybe in the different versions. That's why you see me with different browsers, and I usually want to check how does it render in another browser. JForce, this is actually a sales consultant thing for Jumia. I had signed up for this. I've tried to look for money from everywhere, but I've since not really much used this. I think I should unsubscribe. Discord, to connect with fellow devs, channels and servers, and yeah, it comes in handy. Oracle VM VirtualBox, this helps me manage virtual machines that I actually want to run here, so I can install a whole virtual machine of Linux maybe here inside this box using Oracle. Mobi, I think I should delete this. It's a 3G. It's for some of my MiFi, some MiFi that I had some time back, and still on 3G. Yet you're moving to 6G. WhatsApp, popular messaging application developed by Brian Acton, I think, and Coom. Yeah, I like those guys because they designed this application with privacy in mind. There are not much ads, but I'm surprised that the recent acquisition that took place around 2014 with a whopping 19 billion. I think that was my first article I wrote. If I remember, I was in high school and I wrote an article about how Facebook bought WhatsApp at a whopping $19 billion. I think it was around $19 billion back in 2014. And every time I see WhatsApp, I remember that article that I wrote, so I can never forget about how WhatsApp started. And the founders of WhatsApp, actually, maybe a quick snippet, they built this application with privacy, with in-app purchases, all those things out. Like, they wanted an application that will be good and friendly to everyone to use, not an application to be cloggy and having these ads running back and forth. They didn't want to collect user data, they preferred privacy, but all that has since changed with the acquisition from Facebook, because we know Facebook scandals, like for example the Cambridge Analytica scandal, how they're even selling our data they use. So for them it's about how they created even WhatsApp business, and all that is in the name of trying to monetize WhatsApp. WhatsApp was a free tool used by everyone some time back, and it struggled actually financially, even though people used it or loved it. And but that is changing with Facebook, with Zuck in charge, with Meta in charge. I think that's it. Maybe if I can read more about WhatsApp currently, how it is actually making money, how it is being monetized, the current. Because those guys, when they were acquired, they continued working with Meta or Facebook, and then later on they had to leave because of the things that they couldn't agree with, the new systems that were coming through WhatsApp. But that's it for this video. And if you've enjoyed this, and if you've liked what I've shared, if I've shared something that you could try out also installing on your machine, please go ahead. I prefer black background. And that's it. That's my desktop in a nutshell. As I said, there are more applications than this that I have here. Some are private, and some I prefer not to put them in, to clutter my desktop with icons. And thank you so much. Please subscribe. Stay